What's going on, everybody? Good evening. It's iFOMOhard. Welcome to FomoNation Sports. Tonight, I am joined, hopefully with a panel of guests. We're missing a couple people here, so we're going to wait for them to show up. But in the meantime, Anders hanging with me. What's going on, Ander?
What's going on?
Scenarius lives.
Scenarius lives. You know it.
That's good.
The cardboard kid is in.
Well, before we get started here, let me just go over my team here, and I want to talk about Philip Lindsay sucking. I had to start him at flex. I really didn't have an option. I guess I did. I could have started McCoy. It would have worked out better. But after last week's performance with McCoy, there was no way I could trust him. Lindsay going against Kansas City's defense, I had to assume that he was going to tear it up. But aside from that complete debacle that I had on Thursday night, I'm feeling pretty good. Let's go over the lineup right now. Jared Goff, I'm starting against Atlanta. I think he's going to have a fat game against them. They are giving up the second most fantasy points to QBs, so that bodes well for me. Melvin Gordon, I'm expecting him to get back into the swing of things this week. If he doesn't get back in by the third week he's in, I'm getting concerned. Saquon Barkley coming back against a tough Arizona defense, but nonetheless, it looks good for my team. I have two number one running backs now. At least in the draft, they would have been gone in the first round. Probably in the first 5 picks, I'm thinking. If Gordon was able to or was signed at that point. Stephon Diggs, I'm starting at wide receiver. I think he's fixing to step up. It's at Detroit. Maybe they work him into the game plan after he was belly aching about it, especially after what we saw last week. Cooper Kupp against Atlanta, safe play, in my opinion. Evan Engram back from his, I guess, concussion, playing tight end. Scooped up a lot of points so far this year. Feel real comfortable with him, man. This is a team that champions are built of. Robbie Gould is a kicker. I know Mike likes that. And the Chicago Bears playing against New Orleans. I know it's a tough pick. Maybe they're going to go ahead. I mean, Bridgewater's still QB, right? So Breeze isn't back. Maybe they'll get a couple, interceptions. Maybe a pick six or something. I don't know. Maybe Minnesota against Detroit. I could change that last minute, but I'm expecting Detroit to have a pretty big day. So that's it for my team, man. Ooh, Ander. And Pace Car Mike has joined us. Good evening,
Yeah,
Pace
we got
Car.
Mike
What's
with
up,
us.
Mike?
JP not going to make it?
JP is not going to make it tonight. He's driving, so he said he wouldn't be able to make it because he was driving at night in the sticks. I guess he doesn't have any kind of connection. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have been texting me. In the meantime, I know we have a FanDuel little, what do we call this, tournament going on between us.
Free to enter. Everybody can jump into that, but right now it's just us four. I'm interested to see who wins this week.
I should put the
Did
link.
you guys get my lineup?
Yeah, I got your lineup.
Okay.
That's in the Zoom or the
If
Telegram.
you
Right?
like, I've got the latest injury reports. I can go over them real quick for the players that really would make a difference.
Yeah.
Go through the
sure,
injury.
Go ahead.
All right, we'll take it game by game. Let me go through here. I got my notes. Let me read them and make sure. All right, we'll take the 49ers and Washington Redskins. The standout. Do you want me to do both offense and defense or just the offense?
Give us.
Yeah, the short version of this.
Give us
Yeah, if I see a defensive player that could be a factor, I'll mention him.
All right.
And, on the 49ers, the number one thing is a running back. Jaworski is out.
JP made it.
Dito Samuels is out. And that's all there is on the 49ers. On the Redskins, let's see. Chris Thompson is out, and Josh Norman is out. Now that's a defensive player. So that's, if you're thinking about, that's why I like the 49er defense today. Tomorrow. Okay, the Cardinals and the Giants. Let's see. The big thing for the Cardinals would be David Johnson's out. And that's about the only one there.
David Johnson.
David Johnson is out.
That's a big one.
Yep. And then out for the Giants, Sterling Shepard's out.
He's a game time decision.
Okay, well, that's right now I've got it as they're saying is out. It could be game time decision. Okay. On the Texans and the Colts, the Texans, there's just a couple of
David Johnson.
Go ahead.
Game time from what I saw.
Okay, well, For the Texans, there's really nobody in
Hey,
particular.
Mike, let me stop you because we're going to go through every single game again anyway. So I think it's
Okay.
kind of like we're doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's going to
All right.
take too long to go this way.
Yeah, all right.
Andrew and I actually had a little bit of an outline, a loose outline. Did you guys want to talk about your FanDuel fantasy lineup for links in the Telegram, right, Andrew? We dropped this
The link is in the Telegram. I'll drop it again. I'll pin it. JP, you want to give us your lineup? You're the only one we don't have in the Telegram already, so.
JP might be not catching.
Sounds like
good
FOMO,
signal.
you're first.
All right. Well, I went with Minshaw as my quarterback at 6,900. I paired him with Fournette against Cincinnati. I could see these two having a really big game. Dalvin Cook as a running back. He was my expensive pick of the week at 8,300. Brandon Cook, I guess is the B stands for, the wide receiver for the St. Louis Rams or L.A. Rams. I always call them St.
Why
Louis
you
Rams.
just called
man.
him St. Louis?
Because
it's been like 3 years.
I know, dude. Well, I can't help it, bro. I can't help it. Like they were the St. Louis Rams. I mean, I
But they were the LA Rams before that.
Huh?
They were
Yeah,
the
I
LA
know,
Rams.
but I know them as look. They won the title. The greatest show on turf was, St. Louis Rams, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I
99, 2000.
Yeah,
somewhere
so
around there.
that's what I associate.
Martz.
Yep, I can't help it. Greatest show on turf. Kurt Warner, right? The guy who was working in a grocery store about 3 months prior to that. So
You think Marlon
Stephon,
Mack's gonna go off?
say what?
You think Marlon Mack's gonna go off today?
Actually, I have Marlon Mack as my flex.
I don't know about that.
Well, I got him as my flex. I can't help it, man. Stephon Diggs, Tyler Boyd, Ingram. I'm going with a lot of my boys too. Like I gotta go with my boy. Like I gotta go with Ingram, man. And then the Vikings defense. I'll take them as well. They were worth the price. Like that's my lineup.
Mike, you want to go next?
Yeah, I've got a couple, but this is the one I really want to go with. I got Jared Goff as a quarterback because I know the Rams are not going to lose 4 in a row, and Atlanta defense sucks, especially against a quarterback. They're like number 25, and then I'm going to have a couple of contrarian running backs. Hopefully nobody's using these guys because in these cash lineups for FanDuel, you got to go with somebody different. And I like Jacobs on the Oakland. I know Green Bay's defense is tough, but I really think, he's been carrying the ball. He had 123 yards last week in that comeback against the Bears. I really like him, or 2 weeks ago, whenever that game was in London. And I like Carlos Hyde on Houston. People kind of knock the guy, but every week he just keeps giving you points and points. And then for wide receivers, I'm going to take Kupp. I think it's time for Goff to get going, and Kupp is the guy he loves. I like T.Y. Hilton. Houston has got a great defense, but I think he can get free a few times. And I love Shark, D. Shark Jr. I think Jacksonville will have a big day against Cincinnati. For tight end, I'm going to go with Waller for D. Walker for Tennessee. I know he's questionable, but they really, he isn't on the injury report, so I really like him for Tennessee. And my flex player, I'm taking another tight end. I like Ingram on the Giants. I think he'll have a big day against the Giants, and my defense is my 49ers.
JP said he'll
Solid
be
one.
back on, so
Okay.
he
All
can-
right. Well, so you want to me to go through mine then?
yeah, absolutely.
All right. So I went kind of off. I think Houston's going to have a big day against Indy. I'm going to be at the game, so I'm kind of biased on my lineup this week. But Deshaun Watson, clearly he's stepping up. He's an MVP candidate in my book.
Ooh.
I think he has a big day this year, or tomorrow, sorry. Carlos Hyde, after last week in KC, doing it to his old team. I think he steps up this week. The Colts, the run D has been but don't break. I think he has a big day. Tevin Coleman, Niners like to run the ball. Washington can't stop shit. So that's where I'm going that way. Cooper Kupp, like Mike said, I think today or tomorrow is the day he really steps out. I'm not sold on Robert Woods. I'm not sold on Brandon Cooks, but I like Cooper Kupp. If you've been in the Telegram, you know I'm a big Adam Thielen fan this year. Most consistent wide receiver in football outside of 4 weeks this season. I got him having another day. Kiki Cootie, it hasn't done much since last year. I think even though Kenny Stills is back, Will Fuller's in the lineup, I think he still is that low-cost risk-reward player. I think he gets a touchdown and 3-4 catches. Apparently, we all like Evan Ingram against Arizona. And with Jalen Ramsey out, I think it's a close game, but I think Jaguars go with ball control and use Leonard Fournette to their advantage against Cincinnati. Mike's been saying that Chicago's 0-5 after bye week. Is that right, Mike?
That's right, Mike. The 100-star play this week is the Saints, even though what's his name's out, but I still like the Saints. The Bears are 0-5 after a bye week.
And that offense is garbage. So I think the Saints hold them under 10 points. Have a good day.
You get 4 points with the Saints. They're a 4-point underdog.
Really? Yeah, you're right. You're right. I got it right here. That's my lineup, though.
Bam. All right. Sounds pretty good. Should we jump right into the games now? We're already taking a look at Kansas City's game.
Yeah. Mike, give us those injuries as we go through each game.
Yeah, let's do that.
With Mike giving the injuries. So.
All right.
Well, yeah, as we go through. All right, so let's start up the music a little bit. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Hopefully it's coming across the mic real good on the wire.
We'll catch another strike.
Rebroadcasting. Nah, we don't worry about strikes around here, man. We only hit home runs. You know what I'm saying? All right, on Thursday night, we saw KC and Denver play. A lot of people here expected this to be a blowout, and they definitely delivered. Denver got behind early and abandoned the run game, unfortunately for me. Did anybody really expect Denver to win? I know we had last week's picks, and maybe we should just jump on that real quick, or maybe we could talk about it as we go along. What do you guys think about Thursday night?
Which game were we talking about?
Thursday night.
Turn
that music down.
Okay. I don't have a report.
See, I can't lower it anymore for you guys.
Oh, okay. Keep it there then. What do y'all think about Mahomes' injury?
Oh, is he injured or?
Yeah, dislocated patella. He's going to miss several weeks.
Oh,
yeah.
Slightly, yes.
Mahomes is going to be out at least 4 weeks.
At least.
In and out of service. If y'all want, I can run through my lineup real quick if you want.
You know what? Yeah, we just started, so let's step back and run through that lineup then.
All right.
Right.
I'm rocking with my boy Murray. As you guys know, I've been rocking with him for the last few weeks.
Kyler.
Kyler against the Giants. But I got a lot of players in that. Now, I'm taking Barkley as well. I think coming back against that weak Arizona defense. I also like Freeman this week against a hurt Rams defense that's terrible against the run. Matt Ryan's dumping it off a lot to running backs. I'm going with John Brown. I think he's going to get the big play against Miami's garbage defense. I also like Golden Tate against Arizona. I got Larry against the Giants. Evan Ingram against Arizona. Also agree with Ander there. I got Fournette. I think that's going to be a big game for him. And the 49ers defense against Washington.
All right. Sounds pretty good. We got it all down. Last week, I went 4-9, by the way. JP, you went, what was that, 7-8? I can't read what that says.
7-6.
7-6. There we go. I got it bigger now. Mike went 8-5, and Ander 9-4. God, you guys cleaned up.
Keep it running. I should have bet on him.
Yeah, but you would have had to take him straight up, too.
I did.
Yeah, I heard you did
Mike
pretty
had a good day,
good.
too. I had a big week last week.
That's always nice, man. I can appreciate big weeks. All right, so we were talking about Kansas City and at Denver. Mahomes being out, that seriously affects Kansas City, obviously. I mean, like, that's big news. I didn't know he was hurt for, you said 2 to 4 weeks? Is that what JP said? I don't know.
I think it's going to be at least 4 weeks.
Now, at least 4
I
weeks.
heard it'll be
I saw 3 weeks.
So no one knows.
Depends if they're winning or not. If they're
so
winning,
basically no one knows.
It's longer.
Yeah,
exactly.
probably. All right, so the next game up, the first one on our agenda tonight, San Francisco and the Redskins, Washington. This is a 5-0 5-0 49ers team coming into Washington, who's 1-5. Can Washington win this week? I'm gonna let Mike have it so he can give us the injuries.
Yeah,
first.
the injury reports, like I said, The running back, Kyle, that's a big thing because with the 49ers, they use him quite a bit. So that's a big thing for the running game on the 49ers. And questionable is Raheem Mostert. He's the other running back. So you ought to see a lot of work out of Coleman. I think Coleman is a play. And the wide receiver, Debo Samuels, is out with a groin. And for the Redskins, Vernon Davis is out. He's when they're like the red zone tight end, he catches a lot. He's got a concussion. And Chris Thompson's out for the Redskins. And questionable is Josh Norman. If Josh Norman can't play, man, if the 49ers have a field day. That's probably why they're 17-point favorites. Think about that. When's the last time the Niners were 17-point favorites on the road?
I'm sure it's been a long time. It's that's what happens when you play one of 5 teams.
I mean 10.
I have 10 and a half.
That's a little bit different, but still, nonetheless, that's
the 17 points is Buffalo. I'm sorry.
All right. So who's your pick? I'm assuming San Francisco, right? Is there any way you go at Washington, Mike?
No way. But I am gonna take the 49ers. But when I bet it, I'm going to bet the money line.
But we're going against this or straight up, correct?
Yeah, straight up.
So my pick's the 49ers.
All right, Ander.
I'm going 49ers. Obviously, I think again Tevin Coleman bust out, a couple touchdowns. Even Max Breida has a good day. San Francisco.
All right, JP.
Yep. They hit it. 49ers all the way.
All the way, yeah, I take the 49ers also. All right, next up, Arizona and the Giants. That's what I got here anyway. Let me see. Supposed to be loaded up. There we go.
DJ Foster for Cardinals has a hamstring. And David Johnson's got an ankle, but he's game time decision. And Kirk has got an ankle problem. And let's see, for the Giants, Sterling Shepard's got a concussion, so that's the main.
All right,
you got to win.
Man, this is a tough one. I bet the Giants, so I'm going to stick with the Giants. I'm going to take the Giants.
All right, Ander.
I'm going against Mike here. I'm taking Arizona. Kyler Murray is a transcending player. He's a short guy that can win. I think this week he pulls it off again.
JP?
Yep, I could see that.
Yeah, I'm going to go Arizona as well. Both quarterbacks are extremely startable this week.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go with the Giants. I mean, Barkley's coming back. That gives him a lot of pep. Ingram's back. That really helps. I don't know if Shepard's coming back or not, but they still got some, they got a decent receiving core there, even if
somebody in New York has to win, right?
Yeah, Shepard's under concussion protocol.
Is he still? So he's not going to start. But I mean, with Ingram coming back, and now they got Barkley with the on the ground, and that being a threat. Plus, he's a receiving back at the same time. I like the Giants in this game. I'm not feeling Arizona, especially in New York. All right, next game, Texans 4-2 against the Colts 3-2. This is an evenly matched game, in my opinion. I like, I don't know. I like Marlon Mack in this game, but Mike, what's up with the injuries?
Okay, for the Texans, there's really no offensive players that are, they got a couple of defensive that are questionable. And for the Colts, the wide receiver Campbell has got an abdomen, and let's see, that's about it for offensive players. And really nobody. There's a cornerback, Kenny Moore, for the Colts. I don't know how good he is. And so, other than that, they've got a couple of cornerbacks that are hurt for the Colts. So, I think the Texans are going to have a big day, and I'm going with the Texans plus +1. I love that +1.
All right, Ander.
I'm going with my bias. Texans are going to win it. The +1 isn't necessary. They're going to win it outright. Carlos Hyde, like I said, he's going to step it up. Colts are traditionally known not to be able to stop the run, and I think it's more of the same this year at home. Texans by at least 4 points.
Yeah, especially with all those cornerbacks that are hurt for the Colts.
Yep. Deshaun Watson MVP.
JP?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with the Texans 100%. I think this week the Texans get their passing game back in order. I think that, I mean, he's my boy. Duke's going to have a big game. And I think it's a double-digit victory for them.
Yeah, when I saw that number come out +1, I was looking for an injury on the Texans, but I don't see anybody. So these books are never usually wrong, but maybe there's something I don't know. Do you guys hear anything about the Texans?
The Texans.
No, I think it's just the Texans' perception is that their defense is not as good as it's been in years past, and that the Colts have, been a ball control type team where they can limit Deshaun Watson, similar to the way the Texans limited Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, this is a tough game for me. I mean, this is as close to a pick 'em as you can get, I guess, right? You're saying it's a one point spread?
It all depends on if the Colts are able to control ball.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think Marlon Mack has a nice game, but I think that team is still like trying to find their identity. Houston seems like they're beating on all cylinders right now. At least the offense has been. So I'm going to go with Houston as well.
The only Texan that I can see maybe why the spread's so low is that the center is out with a concussion. But I think that wouldn't be that big a deal.
I don't know. I mean, Indy hasn't been slouches. I mean, they have a decent squad there, and their defense has been okay. I could see Indy winning. Yeah, I could see Indy winning this game, easily. But I'm going to go with Houston. Close. It's going to be a close game, but I think Houston pulls it off. All right, the Raiders and the Packers.
All right, the Raiders. Let's see. Tyrell Williams is out with a foot. Doubtful is Trenton Brown, and questionable is Dwayne Harris. And for the Packers, well, we know Adams is out with his toe still.
Boo.
And doubtful is Allison with that concussion. He has a chest injury too, and he's not. Robert Tonoyo is questionable. And let's see. That's all. And then Marquez. Valdez has got an ankle knee. So he's questionable. So that's all there is. But I mean, that's big for the Packers.
So what's up, Mike? Can the Raiders beat Green Bay, or is Green Bay going 6-1?
Well, the Packers are -4.5, -115, and when you're in Lambeau Field, and I think I told you guys, I'm a stats guy. I really believe in stats, and the Raiders have been over the last 10 years the worst team to go east of the Mississippi. Now, they did win in London, so really probably that doesn't count. But when they go east of the Mississippi, they are 3-20. Okay, so let that digest for a minute. The 3 wins and 20 losses when they go east of the Mississippi.
Yeah, I heard this stat when they played Chicago, and then they won.
Right.
Yeah,
so
they went west to get there. I'm just kidding. True. You don't fly over the Pacific.
And this is an early game too, folks. So think about this. This game is an early game. And so when a West Coast team goes to an early game, it's like 7 o'clock in the morning for them. So that, think about that too.
How early is it?
Well, it's a 10 o'clock game for us, but would make it a 7 o'clock game for the Raiders.
I just thought maybe they were in London and I was missing something.
No, I mean, they're playing at 1 o'clock Eastern time, which should be.
So are you taking Green Bay?
Yeah, and I'm taking Green Bay, yes.
All right, Ander.
I am going Green Bay. We saw last week Green Bay finally establish a run game, a real presence with ball control, and I think that is how you win in the NFL, especially when you have a defense as strong as theirs. So I got Green Bay winning this week.
Clock game.
You got Green Bay too, Jesse?
This is a tough one for me. This is my hardest pick. Green Bay's, all their receivers are they need to go out and draft receivers right now. They're all banged up, and I think Josh Jacobs is going to have a hell of a game. I'm going to go Green Bay, though. It's going to be a close one, I think.
Yeah, I think Green Bay wins this one at home, man. I'm Green Bay. They go 6-1. Next up on the agenda, if I have this right, Minnesota 4-2 at Detroit 2-1. 2-2.
Okay, the Vikings really have nobody out that's that's anybody that we're worrying about. They got one linebacker that's got a concussion and one linebacker that's got a hamstring, so that's not a problem. For the Lions, they've got 2 cornerbacks out and a running back, Baldwin. I mean, he doesn't really play much, but Darius Slay has a hamstring. Now that's huge. That's really huge. And I've been struggling with this game, but the fact that Minnesota's only -2.5, -115. You know, I love the Lions. I really love that team, but I'm going to go against it. I'm going to take the Vikings.
Andrew.
I'm going with Detroit. Matt Stafford. Go Dogs. Detroit wins it this week.
Really?
I got Detroit. I think Minnesota's good. I think they have an awesome offense, a great defense, but Detroit's kept every game close this year. I think this is the one they pull out. Upset of the week.
JP?
Even without the Slay, huh?
Even without Slay.
Is Slay out or just questionable?
He's questionable.
Yeah,
got a
if Slay doesn't
hamstring,
play,
so
I don't see it.
It doesn't take a great cornerback to intercept what's his name, Cousins.
But doesn't
That's a
that
good point.
doesn't a hamstring kind
Very
of
good
limit
point.
you out there?
Say again.
I think he's gonna play though. I'm gonna go with Minnesota. I think they started targeting Diggs. I personally think Diggs is the more talented receiver there. I think Minnesota takes it.
All right. I'm going with Minnesota, too. I'm watching Detroit's run defense while we're talking and showing Green Bay just completely slaughtering them. So I think Minnesota's a really good squad. They got a decent defense going on. Great running back. They're going to start working Diggs into the offense, I think, now that he made a big stink. He just wanted to win, in my opinion. I don't think he really wanted out of there. He just wants to win and get the ball a little bit. I think they feed him. They make him happy. And Minnesota goes on to, 5-2? Sounds good, right? Sounds like a plan. Next up, Jacksonville and Cincinnati.
Tough one.
Ugh.
Okay,
This is the
Jag-
bottom
game.
feeders here. It's going to be a good game. I think it'll be a good game.
Who wins first, Bengals or Dolphins?
Jacksonville, Marquise Lee has got an ankle problem, and the tight end Swain has a concussion, and questionable is Westbrook. And for the Bengals, AJ Green's got the ankle. I might play. They got a bunch of cornerbacks out, but other than that, that's about the only injury on the Bengals that are for Green. So I don't know. This game, if you held a gun to my head, I'm gonna really go off the. I'm gonna say the Bengals are gonna win this game. I'm gonna take the Bengals.
Andrew.
I go Jacksonville. A lot of people are making a big to-do about the fact that Jalen Ramsey's no longer with the team, but I don't think he's really been with the team much the last couple weeks anyway, so I don't think that really affects him. The Bengals are still the Bengals. They're trash. Facts. Jacksonville.
JP.
This is a tough one. I mean, my man Minshew's been keeping every game pretty close. He turns the ball over a lot, but then he keeps them in there. But I think Mixon finally starts to be fantasy relevant this week. I'm gonna go the Bengals.
And me. I'm not going the Bengals. I like Fournette. I think Minshaw's getting it done. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey's a little bit of a... I think the Jalen Ramsey thing's bigger to, like, Andy Dalton and maybe fantasy stats on the receivers there. But as far as winning the game, I just think Jacksonville has the run game to... Fournette can just control that, and Minshaw's been pretty decent. So as long as Fournette can, get a few yards on a carry, they're going to have to respect the run, and that's going to leave open some downfield opportunities. I think Jaguars pull it out in quite possibly a shootout. Miami 0-5 against Buffalo 4-1. They're going
I'm not even going to give you any injury reports.
into Buffalo.
Yeah, not necessary.
I'm not even going to
All
give
of
you
Miami
any
is
injury
injured.
reports.
Yeah, the whole
The
team.
Buffalo Bills could start their practice squad and still beat the Miami Dolphins. This will be a 21-point blowout.
What's the
So I'm
spread?
taking the Bills.
17.
And they're a 17-point favorite in the game.
It is an AFC rivalry, though. I mean, if there's any chance that
I don't
Ryan
care.
Fitzpatrick could have a big game. I mean,
It's
If
in
I'm
Buffalo.
on a high, the school I went to would beat the Dolphins right now.
Fitzmagic.
Yeah, remember that?
That's
What
right.
happened?
Fitzmagic. You never know.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
we all across the board. Buffalo Bills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I am.
this is one
Lots
of
of
those
you can say
games
that.
that Miami pulls.
Keep an eye on Devin Singletary this week.
Hey, is he playing? Is he getting the start over Frank?
No, he's not getting the start, but he's a big play running back. He's going to have a few, I'm sure.
Yeah, I just don't see Miami going into Buffalo. If it was in Miami, maybe I'd say, you could take Dolphins there. All right, there were the division rivalries, but not in Buffalo. I don't. It's gonna be cold
I
up
can make
there.
a promise on this podcast right now. I will not pick Miami one time this year.
Isn't there weather in this game? It could be snow flurries.
Yes, I mean that's the thing. Miami doesn't do well in the North, so it's just not even. Especially
Miami doesn't do
this
well
shit.
anywhere.
Yeah, I know, but this is
Even
real
if it doesn't snow, it's
exceptional
got to be
trash.
cold up there in Buffalo.
Dolphins can't swim in the
No
snow.
doubt, no doubt. All right, next up, JP's favorite team. Let me get the highlights rolling before I start talking about them. Here we
Yeah, there hasn't been
go.
much highlights lately.
There we go. 3-3 LA. Damn, I almost called them fucking St. Louis again. 3-3 LA. I caught myself last second. 3-3 LA against 1-5 Atlanta. The Dirty Birds sucking the big one this year. Mike,
All right,
give
as
us an
far
injury
as
report.
there's not a whole lot of injuries. Clay Matthews is out, and doubtful is Malcolm Brown. And for the Falcons, the cornerback Trufant has got a toe. Other than that, the Rams win on the road.
Andrew?
Ah man, this is one of the tougher ones because I think the records are deceiving here. Both
Absolutely.
quarterbacks are interception prone. What's Gurley's status this week? Is he healthy?
Yes.
Healthy.
Yep, he's healthy.
Jalen Ramsey's in town. Yeah, I can't go against St. Louis. Wow.
The only
FOMO's been rubbing off.
The only Ram injury is doubtful is Malcolm Brown. Everybody else is healthy.
Hella pause. Yeah, I'm going with the Rams here.
JP.
I want to pick Atlanta because every week that I've picked LA, I've taken an L. So I want to pick Atlanta just so my boys will win. But come on now. I don't think Ramsey, I'm not sure if he's going to play. I heard it's kind of questionable if he plays. But Gurley's got to get it going. We got to have a big game. Atlanta's got a terrible offense. LA by 12. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I want to take the Dirty Birds. I don't expect Ramsey's going to start, but I just can't, man. LA's got too many weapons, and Atlanta's
No,
defense.
Ramsey is going to play.
He is going to play.
He's
He
going to
is
play.
playing.
They're just throwing. I guess there's like only one way to play the cornerback,
Yeah,
right?
but
You don't
it's
have to
really
learn the
strange.
system.
It's
then.
only a 3-point favorite for the Rams. I think it'd be more than
Well,
that.
He's
maybe
a man
people
coverage
figure it.
cornerback. It's not much of a game plan when you just cover
All
that
right,
guy.
well, he's going to play, so I go with LA. I definitely go with LA.
So we're all LA there.
Yeah. Plus, I got Cup and what's his name, Goff. I need them to have a big game, so I'm gonna be rooting. I can't go against the team and be rooting for. Listen, what's going on with the 2-4 Chargers, and they're playing the 2-4 Titans? Which
Melvin
team?
Gordon.
Yeah, but they weren't doing that great before he got there. So
The Chargers
They had an
historically
offense.
don't want to win games.
They had an offense before, and now they have.
well, they did. They weren't. They were still.
Still trying to find the kicker.
Yeah, now their kicker, on the injury reports, their kicker, Bagley, has got a right groin, so he's questionable. Doubtful is Melvin Ingram, and that's a defensive end. But there's no really, the only offensive player that's maybe is Justin Jackson. He's got a calf, but he doesn't play much. And for the Titans, the only player I can see, there is Delaney.
Mariota's not starting this week.
Problem, but I think he's going to play. In fact, I'm taking him in my FanDuel, so I think he's going to play. Cameron Wake has got a hamstring, so they're a little banged up on the defense. But I don't know, a West Coast team going on the East Side, man. I think the Chargers are just a bust. They haven't shown me anything, and I'm going to go with the Titans.
Even with Tannehill starting?
Yep.
All right. Well,
They're -2.5. So, think about that. When are the Chargers plus on the road against the Titans?
that you're right there. I still got to go with the Chargers. I'm still going Chargers. I think Melvin Gordon, I'm hoping he gets worked into that offense a little bit more, break off some of the rust. If not, give it to fucking Eckler. Give it to him. I mean, I don't understand where the question is. Give it to the hot hand. Phillip Rivers is definitely the issue in LA right now this season. I'm excited for him to retire and spend some time with his 14 kids. Until then, though, I don't think they win a lot of games, but I do think they win this week. I don't think the Tennessee Titans have what it takes.
Man, they just lost to the Steelers that were like handicapped beyond belief. It's so hard to go with the Chargers, but you know what? I gotta go with my head.
The Steelers are good, though.
And my heart. Yeah, the Steelers are not that good, bro.
They've been a lot better since they got Minkah Fitzpatrick in that secondary.
Yeah, but to beat Chargers like they did with no quarterback, basically, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm going to go with the Chargers one more time. Gordon's on my fantasy team. I can't help it. I do agree Rivers is the problem there. I don't think it's Gordon.
No.
But, Gordon's not throwing into the defensive line. Gordon's not underthrowing these throws.
6 targets to Keenan Allen last week. That is utterly irresponsible.
That's a problem. I agree. But
How does that?
I don't think Phillip Rivers is the problem. I think the play calling is a problem right now. I think,
and he's not part of that.
Gordon,
He's not part of the play calling. He's a 15-year vet.
He's definitely part of it, but I think part of the problem is trying to figure out how to get Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler. Eckler's been making plays this year. I think he gets a bigger share of the offense. I think he gets 7+ catches this week, but the Chargers win.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chargers, too. Right in time there. We ended right in time for that video then. Next game, Baltimore Ravens. Seattle Seahawks.
This is probably going to be the game of the week.
Yeah, Ravens 4-2 on the road in Seattle. 5-1. The coolest looking jerseys in the NFL going out on the field against the Ravens.
$1.20. So the books are looking at. They want you to take the Seahawks. That's why it's $1.20 +3 on the Ravens. And the Ravens have a couple of questionables. Cornerbacks Jimmy Smith has got a bad knee, and Everett's got a bad ankle. Marquise Brown's got a bad ankle. Cornerback Kennedy has got a thigh, and linebacker. So they got a lot of banged up players on the Ravens. And the Seahawks, Disley, one of my favorite tight ends, is out. Other than that, there's just a bunch of Seahawk defensive players that are questionable. But I tell you what, I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson. He is my second favorite quarterback. I'm just going to go I'm going with the Ravens +3. But I'm getting 3, but I really think they'll pull the game out.
See, I can't agree with you there. I think Russell Wilson deserves our respect. Every game, it seems like no matter what the first 3 quarters happens, he pulls it within 3-4 points. And this, I don't think the Ravens can hold him back this week. I have the Seahawks.
JP?
Oh man, this is a tough one too. It's a coin toss for me. I'm an LA fan. Seattle's winning our division. Go Baltimore. I think they win.
Yeah, and I'm going to, man, this is a tough game here. I think Lamar Jackson and that defense, the Baltimore defense, is just put together. I don't know, man. Like, I really like them. They like to grind games out. I could see them going into Seattle and grind it. It really depends on if it becomes a shootout. I think a shootout favors Seattle in years past. With Lamar Jackson as fast as he is on the ground, I don't think it's that big of a deal if they do end up in a big shootout like this, because I think the Ravens can hang. It's not like they got Joe Flacco behind the helm here, man. All that being said, I'm inclined to go with the Ravens, so I'm going to just go with that call because that's what my gut says. This is a coin flip for me.
Like I tell you every week, don't listen to me. Go with your gut.
Yeah, I'm going with Ravens. I'm going with Lamar Jackson. My son's a Lamar
Just
Jackson.
throw this out there. FOMO's got 4 games last week.
That's all right.
Sorry, FOMO.
That's all right. I take the underdog. I'm just the moderator here. All right. So New Orleans 5-1 against the Bears 3-2, coming off of a bye.
Now I've already told you about this game, how I love it. And the Saints, even though they don't have Breeze or Cook or Alvin Kamara, I'm still going with the Saints. I have Teddy Bridgewater has proven to me could be a starting quarterback anywhere. And for the Bears, they got that rookie quarterback in there. What's his name? I forget.
Isn't it Mitch? It's Mitch Daniels. He's not a rookie.
No, Trubisky's still got that left shoulder. I don't think.
Yeah, but not Mitch Daniels. Chase Daniels. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go. I've already picked it as my 100-star play. So the Saints, baby.
I'm going Saints as well. Like Mike said, Teddy Bridgewater. The only reason he's not a starter already is because he tore his knee up and had to go somewhere to prove himself. No Kamara, Latavius Murray. Fantasy-wise, that's my sleeper pick. If he is a free agent in your 12-man fantasy league, pick him up and start him this week.
I could see Michael Thomas having a 200-yard game tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna get targets, and he's got the talent to get
better
that ball.
have Michael Thomas in your game tomorrow.
Guys, all this abuse to that Bears defense, huh? All this talk about Teddy Bridgewater being a starting quarterback. He's the worst quarterback in the league right now throwing the ball after 7 yards.
He's going to be on the field.
Statistically wise. I'm not a Teddy Bridgewater believer. He looked good before. He's a game manager, in my opinion. God, the Bears' offense sucks, but I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to go with the Bears. I think Kamara being out is too big of a deal.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jesse. They're in Chicago, too. I'm pretty sure it's going to be cold up there. New Orleans is a dome team from the South. They're 5-1. I think the Chicago defense is just too good on a day where Kamara is going to be out and they're on the road. I mean,
plus,
David Montgomery.
Yeah.
This is the lowest over/under on the field of the slate.
Yeah,
It's 37. I see the game. The Saints 17, the Bears 6.
Yeah, a low-scoring game, in my opinion, favors the Bears. To be honest,
I see no touchdowns out of the Bears, just 2 field goals.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think that I'm going to say it right now. I think the defense scores a touchdown. Moving on, the Eagles and the Cowboys, AFC East division rivals, both 3-3. Both dying to get into the playoffs to prove that they are worthy of going to the big game. This is a Sunday night game on NBC. This is a big game for the Cowboys, I think, at home.
Hey, there's a lot of injuries in this game.
Go ahead and give them to us, Mike.
For the Eagles, Brandon's got an ankle problem. Deshaun Jackson's got abdomen. Defensive tackle Jernigan has had a foot. Cornerback Maddox has got a concussion, bad neck. Peters has got a knee. Sproles has got a quadricep. And then questionable is Ronald Darby for the hamstring. For the Cowboys, Anthony Brown is out. Questionable is Armstrong, a defensive end. Randall Cobb has got a back problem. Collins has a knee. Mari Cooper still got that ankle quadricep. Cornerback Jones is a hamstring. Center Looney has got a back. Guard Martin's got an ankle back injury, and tackle Smith has got a bad ankle. So with all that, I threw a quarter up in the air and it landed with Philadelphia.
All right, Ander.
This week, I think the injury bug has gotten to the Cowboys. I just don't think they can overcome the amount of injuries they have in that offense. Philly, Carson Wentz, I'm not a huge fan of, but I think they pull it off this week. Cowboys are in trouble. Jason Garrett, I don't think he lasts through. If they lose this week, he's on the hot seat in the next 2 weeks to get fired. Urban Meyer did confirm he would take that job if they were off. Did that this morning, I believe.
All right, JP.
Oh, man. I hate the boys. Hate them. The Eagles secondary is so weak. I'm going with the boys. I think Michael Gallup's going to have a good game. Dak's going to have a big game.
Yeah, I think this is a must-win game for the Cowboys. After what I saw Minnesota Twins, what I saw the Minnesota Vikings do to the misspeaking all over the place. What I saw Minnesota do to Philadelphia last week is to me, it just screams this is a game for the Cowboys to win. I don't think there's any way they can stop the offense. So, we should see Cowboys win on Sunday night. Going to another night game, Monday night. Monday Night Football. The Patriots 6-0. This is a stinker right here, isn't it? Patriots 6-0. Hold on, Mike. The Patriots 6-0 against the New York Jets 1-4. Do we need an injury report with this game? Does Jets have any chance of winning?
Have one, but I have a bet on the New England Patriots not to lose a game, and I'm really worried about this game now that Darnold's back. I could see the Patriots looking past this game, and you know what? Yeah, I'm going to tell you something right now. As much as I want to bet on the Patriots, I'm going to take the Jets winning the game. This is a game I lose my bet on.
Jets winning straight up?
Straight up.
Ooh.
Look how good they played against.
No, I definitely take Jets with the points. I mean, getting 10.
They're getting 10, but look how good they played against Seattle.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're going Jets to win this week.
I'm taking the Jets. This way, if I lose, at least my Patriots bet is still alive.
I always blame those Jaeger bombs. So Tom Brady has looked sluggish this year. I don't know what's going on. Has he fallen off the proverbial cliff, they say?
Grandpa Brady.
Grandpa Brady. He's still a GOAT, though. Still a GOAT. I'm still going New England. I don't think Belichick's going to let him look past this week, being that it's the Jets. If there were any other team that was this bad, maybe Sam Darnold, they know who he is. The Jets definitely. I don't think they still have the offensive production. I know they did that to Seattle last week, but I just don't see it happening 2 weeks in a row.
The Jets played the boys last week, didn't they?
Cowboys. I'm sorry, not.
All right, I was just making sure I'm driving, so I want to make sure I ain't.
I went with it.
My mind goes blank for a minute.
No worries. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a better game than most people give it credit. Darnold definitely brings that offense back. You can't go against Brady. It's the Patriots.
Brady and the GOATs.
I mean, is Brady trying to go undefeated for his last season? I mean, would that be your last season? You go all the way
last
undefeated?
season. He's coming back.
You think?
He's not 45.
He's got 10 more.
You think?
Yeah,
you think if he
still
won
on
it all the
contract.
way out and went, 16-0, and then, oh man, I don't know.
No, because he just wanted to do it again. I mean,
guess.
let's
I
win
don't know, man.
25, 26, and then take the L.
Remember,
We still got, 4 more fingers?
If the Patriots go, without losing a game, I win $1,000.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Did you tell Tom Brady that?
I think this is the week they lose one, to be honest. I'm going with the Jets. That's what I'm going with this week.
Yeah.
Taking them. Got to take them.
And you folks, I'm a big Patriots fan. It's one of my favorite teams. But you don't bet with your heart; you bet with your brain.
I don't bet at all because I'm tired of losing money.
You got to bet right, man.
I guess that's why I don't get into too many crypto things. For that same reason, because I'm tired of losing.
I got the Jets plus 10 minus $1.15.
So that's pretty much it, guys. We wrapped it all up.
If you really want to get bold, you bet the money line with the Jets is $34 for every $10 bet.
Ooh.
It's a little steep.
You ain't trying to bet $10?
No.
You bet $10, you win 34 if you take the Jets money line.
Get yourself like 40 IND.
$10 is a little steep.
Yeah, bro.
I'm
Yeah.
glad Jay said it.
I don't know if I'd put any money on the Jets. Not for the Jets, bro.
It's just the use of steep there.
I'm keeping my 12-pack of Natty Ice.
It's too steep to be putting it on the Jets, bro. I'm not betting on them.
I'm putting $50 on that plus 340.
Wow. Well, you're more of a man than I am. Hey, you might win that one. You might win that one, to be honest. I mean, you say that, which don't bet with your heart, but I don't know, man. It's Jets.
I've lost $50 playing video poker, so why not put it on a Jets?
All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. It looks like the Yankees are fixing to lose and get knocked out of the.
Yeah, they are.
Let's see. I'm looking.
Yankees suck.
Let me see.
Yankees suck.
Let me see. Hold on. I gotta.
Hey, what? Yeah.
Houston's
What's up with the
gonna
Yankees
win it
fans
all.
trolling Zach Greinke, man?
Houston's going to the World Series.
Houston's gonna win the World Series. They got that pitching.
How about Verlander giving up those home runs, though?
Yeah. Showing his age.
How do I get this? Oh, shit.
All right, guys. Good luck next week with the pick'em.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at something
You're
here
good,
on the
you're
screen
good.
here. Trying to
Is that a
figure it out.
wrap?
I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.
We done?
I guess. I mean,
Got anything else you want to go over?
I don't
Well,
know.
Any
I got-
fantasy
We just
startups?
bullshit. It doesn't matter.
I got one thing real quick if y'all want to chat about it.
Go for
Okay.
it.
You know, y'all seen in the Telegram the trade that I made today. I got a lot of
Yeah.
shit from one of our players in our league, pretty much saying I stole David Johnson, and I was actually a little surprised with Andrew's comment, but I kind of felt the same way. I think Austin Eckler still has decent value, but just to throw it out there, the trade was AJ Green, Austin Eckler, and Delaney Walker. I gave away for David Johnson, Duke Johnson, and well, I can't think, and Jared Cook. Jared Cook, as we know, is out. Duke Johnson might as well be out. He sucks. But I really was just trying to get David Johnson. What are you guys' thoughts on that trade?
The players you gave up are not comfort picks. There's a lot of questions with AJ Green, receiver with foot injury, ankle injury. So I think that's where a lot of it comes from, is the fact that the players you gave up are questionable to what they're going to produce the rest of the year. And at the end of the day, you're getting DJ, who's a first-round running back. So, I mean, the way I deal with trade and people that give me crap about trades that I pull off, it's like, you know what? I'm sorry that I'm a better team owner than you and I, got the deal. It's usually just jealousy.
Yeah, this is the same bullshit we had last year too, where this guy, somehow magically gets last year he got AJ Green, and who else was it? For absolutely nobody. He got him for free last year. Somebody just gave it to him. I was like, wow, man.
It can't
Are
be
you
worse
fucking
than-
kidding me? Yeah.
It can't be worse than dropping a player than trading for the player the next week. I mean,
Yeah, that can't be worse. Oh, that sounds like a FOMO move.
No,
Every time-
at least I'm
every time
not,
I think about that, I'm
but
just-
some
it's
people,
crazy.
could be behind the scenes, I'll give you a reach around if you do this trade with me since you're not doing well.
What do you need on my team?
Before you guys
Collusion.
go, did you see my? I put in my lineup for my super flex for tomorrow.
yeah, that's all right.
Let me see what you guys think. I took David Jones as a quarterback, Kevin Johnson as my running back, Murray from New Orleans, because with Alvin Kamara out, I think Murray's going to get a bunch of plays. Michael Thomas, Hopkins, Kittle, Cook, and my super flex at the bottom, Allen as a quarterback. And I got $200 left over.
I think Kittle's definitely the pick that tied in this week.
What do you think
Wow.
about Murray? That's the only one I'm questioning.
Latavius?
Yeah.
I said it in the stream. I think he has it. He shows out. He's the fantasy pickup of the week if you're in a deep league.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a good running back. I just don't like the matchup.
What about Cook taking Thielen instead of Cook?
Instead of Brandon Cook?
No.
Oh, Dalvin Cook?
I take Dalvin over Thielen this week.
Yeah. It's
We're
hard
gonna
to
lean
take a star running back and put him on the bench for, the receiver.
I definitely think they are not using Dalvin Cook nearly as much as they need to. I think they're saving him more for the second half of the year.
So you think I should put in Thielen and take out Cook?
No,
No.
I still go with Cook.
Okay.
Thielen's it's a 50-50 toss up with him, whether it's going to be him or Diggs.
Yeah, this is a $500,000 tournament too. First place is $50,000.
I don't know if you saw, there's a $2.5 million one in there that I'm a part of.
Yeah, I know.
First place is $1 million. That'd be nice, guys.
Well, I tell you what, did you see I put out there for Thursday night? I would have got at least $1,000 if Mahomes hadn't got hurt. I was in that
That's rough.
Thursday night Millie Maker. If I had all I needed was 15 points out of Mahomes, and I would have I scored $1,000.
That's rough.
I know it's rough.
I like Austin Hooper and Evan Ingram as my top tight ends this week.
I would have died last year if Mahomes would have gotten hurt.
You definitely wouldn't have.
Kind of like this year.
No, he don't hurt me. I had him
No,
on my team
I'm just
last
saying.
year.
playing FanDuel is tough. You got to really be lucky to win on
Oh
FanDuel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
That
need a
shit-
deep sleeper, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's there's. I don't care how good you are at it. It's like so much luck. But then you see the same people winning. I suspect they just spend a lot, and I don't know. I don't know how they do it.
Speaking of FanDuel, FOMO, it's almost November, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send that over to you.
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh,
Every November, me and him run
Oh.
Heads Up every week.
Oh yeah, we're not doing all that.
I need my man to get the Bitcoin needs to go up because FOMO needs some money.
Something needs to go up.
aren't we doing
My
a
pocket's gonna
FanDuel
look hurt
tournament?
without his money.
Aren't we doing a FanDuel tournament this week?
Yeah, but it was free entry.
Yeah, I know it's free. That's what. Yeah.
I mean, I would gladly throw in, but that's a group decision.
I'm game. I got Cash App. I'll send to whoever.
We're trying to get people to join in also from the community.
Yeah, that's true. Man, we haven't had anybody in the chat tonight.
No, they're all intimidated. They think like we're big bad sports announcers and stuff.
Monopoly.
No, they're they're all on.
Where's it at? Is the chat on what? YouTube?
Yeah, they're all on DOC.
Yeah, but I'm not targeting them at all. Like I'm glad they're on DOC. Let them stay over there because I'm not targeting them. I'm not targeting that audience. Like if you like football, that's great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were
But
pissed that I left to come here, and I said, "Well, hey, I've got a commitment to be there."
They're pissed. They're always pissed. They're pissed about everything. So whatever. You can make some people happy and others you can't. You know. But
I like your picture. Is that the?
it's the Tampa Bay Bucks cheerleaders, bro.
I mean, what's that team in?
They might be Houston, to be honest. I don't know. I typed in.
Houston's.
Is it? I typed in Tampa Bay. I don't know.
There's
bro.
a red.
No,
that
but
white
Tampa
tape.
has
It's not
that same
red.
thing. They got that.
Tampa's more of a maroon. That's red.
No,
Yeah, I
bro.
think
I'm
that was
telling
Tampa
you.
Bay.
I think it's Tampa Bay. Let me get a close up of them because I downloaded them to make that the picture.
Where did you download the picture? You should know.
Off the internet. Well, I'm telling you, I typed in Tampa Bay cheerleaders, but you're saying they're not, and I'm telling you, like,
It might be.
yeah, they are Tampa Bay cheerleaders. The
Yeah,
little
looks
you
like
can see
Tampa.
you can see the emblem when I do it close up here. Here, hold on. I'll pull the image up.
Is
for
that
you
one in the
guys.
back right, a man?
I don't know. I'm gonna pull the image up because you guys
Previously.
Let's see. There we
Oh,
go.
you can see their faces.
Yeah,
I wasn't looking at their faces.
I'm sure you weren't, you pervert. Here you go. Let's see. Let's do is it on screen? Yeah. See it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it almost looks like a man.
You can see the Tampa Bay so really good like that.
Yeah, it does.
This is one of these high
Almost favorite
res.
cheerleader.
There you go. There it is. Tampa Bay all the way. Look, that one got it even better. Now you can see it right there. Perfect.
Tampa Bay hasn't been good since Chucky left.
Indisputable evidence that it's the Tampa Bay cheerleaders.
But have we figured out if the one was a man or not?
Hey, I've got a question
I
for you
don't
guys.
know,
Will
bro.
the Raiders make the playoffs?
No.
No,
No.
no, Raiders.
No,
They
the
give it a
wild card
run.
won't come from the West.
Raiders trash.
Casey's going to win that division.
Oh, somebody jumped into the chat. They're asking FOMO if you're any good at fantasy.
Oh, that's this
Your
idiot.
knowledge seems limited.
That's this idiot.
I was going to say, isn't
That's
Jake-
no, that's JP. That's this idiot. But you see how stupid he is. He uses his real name in this chat. You see
Oh,
that?
come on, man. You gotta get that burner up.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Marius
got
lives.
props, huh? JP, that's not nice.
Hopefully, it comes down to me and him this year.
I
again.
I took the
a
message away.
sweet victory.
Uh-oh,
JP probably knows more about FOMO's knowledge than anybody.
JP, you got your message deleted.
Yeah, you better watch out. You're gonna get banned.
Dang.
You're gonna get banned.
I was wondering if it was going to go unnoticed.
You should just take the whole thing down. But-
Chat gang, wrench gang.
Yeah, I was trying to do that for his own good, but
All right, guys, I
Doesn't
gotta go
matter.
take the dog out. So have a good day tomorrow, and we'll talk on Monday.
Good luck. Have a good night.
All right, good luck.
all right,
Thanks,
fellas.
Later.
All right. Good night, guys. This is
Have a good night,
iFOMOhard,
everyone.
FomoNation Sports, and we're out of here. Peace
Scenarius lives.
all day. Later.
Later.